Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Heart2Heart Pod, a safe space to have honest and vulnerable conversations to connect and heal our hearts.
Hi, this is Wesley, and this is a special series on Heart to Heart called KoreaTalk, which is about two former expats' experience living and teaching abroad in South Korea.
Yes, we are on our fourth episode now for Korea Talk, and today we're talking about top fun activities and travel destinations in South Korea.
Such a fun topic for today.
It is. We're going to talk about all these things that you can do when you visit Korea. And so, Wes, if you have a friend who came up to ask you, what are some things that I must do when I go visit Korea for the first time? What are some things that you would recommend or tell your friend?
Man, it's so hard to choose. I feel like I would give them sort of a variety of ideas, and they could kind of prioritize based on what they're interested in. So,
Mhm.
if they're if they're a little more extroverted, or they're wanting to have more of a kind of exciting experience. There are several amusement parks in Korea that are fun. One of them is Lotte World. Well, it's an amusement park that was probably made in like the 80s or so, I'm guessing. You can look it up if you want, but it's a little bit dated, but it has this sort of fun and dare I say romantic vibe to it, and
Oh.
like a fun date kind of way. You know what I'm talking about? Like amusement parks have that vibe, and this is sort of like the Korean take on it. So there's like couple variety of like photo zones, or like you're both wearing the little ears, the panda ears or tiger ears. There's lots of snacks to try out, and it's really neat that you can go indoors if it's like raining, for example. There's stuff to do in the indoor mall that's in, or you can go outdoors if the weather's nice and there's like more conventional amusement park rides and things to do there. It's pretty affordable for an amusement park. It's
Mhm.
probably a bit cheaper than Six Flags, I would say, or one of those regular chains. But you could still spend a good amount there depending on what you want, if you buy a lot of things or whatever. But it's really fun. It's just that I think it's all about the atmosphere. They have like a castle you can take a picture in front of on the bridge, and it's just kind of iconic in a way to Korea. It's just something that I feel like everyone should experience one time with their
Oh, really?
significant other or with a group of friends.
Mm.
Another fun amusement park would be Everland. To get here, you have to go. Ideally, I feel like you should go to Gangnam, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And there's an express bus that goes there in about an hour and a half. And it is a much, much bigger amusement park. It's all outdoors. It has a zoo that rivals the top Seoul Zoo, and it has an amusement park. You can spend a whole day there and not cover everything. It has different themes depending on the season. I like to go there in the winter because they have like all these winter holiday related themes, and it's just beautiful, the colors. But in the summer they have like a festival. They had a festival of lights theme. It's just really fun. I'd say more of a place you can go on a date there, but I feel like that's like a place to go with a group of friends,
Mhm.
uh, more so, or with a group of people, more so than Lotte World. There might not be enough for a group, but definitely with Everland, it is fun. You would have to spend the whole day there though, probably, because it takes a while to get there. An hour and a half or
Mhm.
so from Gangnam. So, have you been to Everland?
I've heard about it. I think it's
Oh my
also
gosh!
it's also because I'm not a huge like I like amusement parks, but I'm not a huge roller coaster fan. Like, are you?
Oh, okay.
Like, it seems like
Oh,
you've been to
yeah.
a
I
number
love
of
roller
amusement
coasters.
parks. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, it's good for that. Multi-world probably less on the amusement park end, but there's the
Mhm.
Viking ship over there, which is
Oh.
so much fun
Oh, I don't
if
like
you
that
love
ride.
heights.
Is it the one that goes up and down like swings?
Yeah, up and
Okay, yeah,
down like
I
a
hate
pendulum.
that one.
Oh man, it's just so
Oh.
exhilarating, the adrenaline rush.
Mhm.
Let's see. Other okay, and then outside of that, there's also resorts on the coastlines. Gangwon-do is the resort I went to. I went there with my girlfriend's family as well. We all went there together in the summer, and we spent a few days at their resort. And they had a nice outdoor pool, and the rooms were really spacious. We had like probably 6 people in there, and there was enough space mostly to just relax. And then it's also near Sokcho, which is a coastal city that has like a nice fish market and just beautiful scenery. And it was the first place in Korea that we could play Pokemon Go. It wasn't available in Korea for probably almost a year.
Wow.
But in Sokcho, that was the one place to play Pokemon Go. So that was a fun thing to do.
Do
We
you
were
know
driving
why?
place to place.
Oh.
Why? Well, I think it had to do with Google Maps and the government of Korea having a disagreement on how much detail should be shown of like maybe military or installations or factories or whatever. So they were sort of working that out. So I think that had a bit to do with it. And then that's connected to Pokemon Go because I think they use Google Maps as a way to function their the game. So yeah. So it was fun.
Wow.
Everyone was playing Pokemon Go over there because that was the only place to play it. So like all around the country, some people would take buses out there just to play the game because it was the trend at the time. So it was fun. Also, yeah, those places kind of stick out to me. When it comes to like different areas, maybe we can move on to Seoul. I have some strong preferences of where I like to hang out in Seoul. I went there almost every weekend.
Wow.
So
Wow, you know Seoul really well then.
I kind of it was so cheap and quick to get there. It was hard not to want to explore it all. But let's see. One thing I recommend is to go to Itaewon. So you may have heard of the drama Itaewon Class, Tina.
I
Have you
haven't
seen
watched
that?
it though.
You're killing me, Smalls. That's okay. It's a great Korean drama, but it's basically Itaewon is the international district in South Korea. It's a little more gentrified right now than it used to be, but originally there was a military camp in Seoul, and Itaewon was where they would go to have fun after the work. And there were tons of bars there and there's some embassies over there, so then the international food came in. And it was just a really exciting place to go out. And that was kind of before we got there. We were at the very tail end of Itaewon when it came to that sort of military, place for soldiers or whatever. Now it's basically a very it's just the place where you really want to impress a new date, like a first date or second date. Like you want to take them out to a fancy meal and show your hot stuff. That's where you go.
Okay.
And just there's Belgian food, Bulgarian food, anything you can think of, they have there. I went there to get Mexican food because I miss that so much.
Oh yes.
I just love the tortilla chips and chimichanga, burrito, whatever, and they had it there. So that was a place where I experienced that, and then also the cocktails as well. And the nice thing about being in Seoul is you can drink and not worry about having to drive because there's subways and buses everywhere, so you can have a good time and not worry about that. So in Itaewon, they have one of my top probably 3 experiences in Korea was their international festival. So this is an annual event, pre-COVID obviously, where there were food trucks and food booths. There was probably over 100 of them from all over the world, and you could try their food. You had to pay for some of the food, but there was limitless choices from India, Bulgaria, China, Japan, wherever. There were some like chefs there, and then there was a parade. The military commander from the U.S. was there, along with some high-ranking city officials from Seoul, and they had like a kind of a space of honor there, and then they had this parade that displayed authentic Korean culture within the parade. And then at the end of that, there was like a bazaar where there were different places to buy like crafts and different knickknacks or whatever from all over the world. My girlfriend's parents came by, and her father ended up buying a CD from these musicians from like Colombia or somewhere in South America. And
Yeah.
he was so impressed. So yeah, it was just, and it was at night, so there was like a DJ, with and then all these people were dancing. It was just like, for me being from a small town, I was just like, I couldn't comprehend how much stuff was happening and how much variety and excitement, energy, and it was just like, man, this is one of those top moments in my life, really, just to see this.
You
So
must eat a lot of food, and
oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I did. I tried a lot of different things, and that's one of my favorite things to do is to try different dishes from around the world. So like international food shows they have at university. Sometimes I helped plan those and crash those later on, just to experience them. So this was just like the ultimate version of that, because you had professional restaurants and chefs there. Yeah, and then the people there were all interested in that too, because they went there, right? That's the nice thing about a festival, is like people are interested in a similar thing. So that's a lot of fun. What were your experiences in Taiwan, the
Yeah,
district?
well, I definitely have been in Taiwan because I know that it is one of those top places for young people to go and party or just, you know, have fun and shop and eat, right? So I just remember reading it in a guide, like one of the top places. So I definitely went there. Just like mostly exploring and eating food. That was my experience.
Right. When I first went there back in 2011, it wasn't quite as nice. But then when I went back in 2016, it was quite a bit improved on the infrastructure side of things. It's still not, as I say, as clean as some other areas in Korea that are popular. Like outside, it's just there's a little bit more trash outside, and it's not quite as. But the food, oh my gosh, it's really good. However, you can easily spend way too much money if you go out for dinner on a weekend there. Oh man, that's probably the most expensive meal I ever paid for was
Oh yeah.
in my life was in Itaewon. Yeah, because it's you got some pretty high end restaurants there. So bring your money, check your bank account before you go out to Itaewon, because especially if you're going to those restaurants, yeah, they can be pretty pricey, but worth it. It's kind of like a special place to be if you're not just going to a festival there. The bars, I went to a couple there, and I wasn't very happy with the service, really. I don't know. I feel like local neighborhood ones had better service than that one. I didn't really care much for the pubs there. I'm not a club person, so I never went to clubs. So, but I like pubs. I like to talk a lot, obviously. So pubs are good, but yeah, I didn't really like the pubs there. But there's still a lot of good things there, so it's fun. I think that my next favorite area would be probably Hongdae. No, Hongdae. That is an area that's really popular with college students, especially undergrad. There's Hongik universities there, I believe. But people from all over the city go there. I heard they do have nice clubs there that are very young, energetic. But I didn't go to those. But they also have some of the best street performances or busking in the city. So you have these groups that are going to be future K-pop, groups like idols. Future idols are there sometimes, or semi-professionals are there. Just high talent and very spacious streets, and they have all the trendy like boba tea places and restaurants are a bit more affordable for how popular the area is. So yeah, I went there to eat several times, and I was never disappointed at all. It's just I think when it comes to fun environment, I think Hongdae is I mean, there's no festival I went to that was as grand as Itaewon, but just daily, like on a typical weekend, I would say Hongdae was probably my favorite. It didn't feel too commercial, even though it was, but it felt more like a cool kind of commercial, not like a corporate, like, department store kind of thing. It felt more like the best small businesses are here, and this is the place that people go to have fun, that are trendy or influencers, that kind of thing.
So would you say that you would recommend Hongdae versus Itaewon in terms of just like going there to have fun and shopping and eating?
Right. So like, I would say like, maybe go to Itaewon for an anniversary dinner, or like someone's birthday, right? That really well, and you want to have a special meal. Like that's Itaewon. But for a typical weekend, especially if you're like, in your 20s, I would say, you can go there in your 30s, but like probably in your 20s, I'd say Hongdae is probably the best when it comes to that.
I think from what I remember in Hongdae, I just remember taking the subway there, right, to that stop. And
Hongik University.
Yeah, and it was so crowded. That's what I remember. Going out, like in the staircase, going up, going outside. It was like a huge swarm of people, and then just even, when you go in the streets and you see so many young people. So definitely the area to hang out and have fun.
I recommend going there like during the day though, to get kind of a feel for it and get familiar with it before you go there at night, where it's a bit crazier.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, I like going there during the day a little bit more because I'm not a big club person. I just like, it looks nice, like during the day as well, or early evening is good. I bet at late at night it gets like busier and busier, and I've never been there super late. I will say that I typically am not out and about after like even 11. Like I typically got home by the last subway at the very latest, which would be around midnight. I didn't want to like pay for a taxi to go all the way across the city. So I don't know that experience as much as like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Korea. What's that like? Don't know as well, but I had a couple experiences, but not much. But yeah, like I would say that's a real fun one. If we moving on to a little bit more grown up or adult, but still enjoyable, Gangnam, Gangnam Style by Psy. This is like the Manhattan of Korea, right? Like it's near Samsung-dong, which has Samsung Station, which used to have the SM World, which they got rid of that like a few months ago, but it had all the SM, a lot of memorabilia and displays in this giant building there, and an aquarium over there, and COEX is nearby, which is like a massive indoor shopping area with nice restaurants. Gangnam is very high end when it comes to shopping and food. They have very, it's more spacious, but there are a ton of people there. So even though it's spacious, it's still crowded because so many people work there and want to go there. It can be, if you want luxury, Gangnam can offer that, but it also has options that are not as expensive overall. I would say it changes a lot too. Like when I was there was a massive Taco Bell there that I would crash at sometimes. But that's not there anymore. But and there was a KFC that's not there anymore. I think rent there must be so expensive that it's almost like they're there for exposure more than making a profit at the location, right? Like everyone sees that business, so it's great exposure. And I can't imagine how obscene the rent is for those spaces. But so it's hard to survive there, but it does get the name out. It's definitely worth going there. It's also a good transportation hub because you can go there to get to Everland, or you can go there to get to, some places very quickly because they have express buses there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's worth checking out.
It's funny how you mentioned Taco Bell because I think I remember going there and seeing Taco Bell and being really excited because I really miss it. And
Yes.
I think I remember my friends asking me back home, they're like, Tina, what do you miss the most? Like, and I mentioned some of the things I really miss, and then I was saying, oh, I really miss Taco Bell. Like, I really miss like fast food or like Western food and other cultural foods too, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
funny how you mentioned that.
That's it's so weird that I miss the exact same thing, like Tex-Mex or whatever, Mexican
Uh-huh.
food. I don't know. I think it's just because the food is like so healthy and it's good, but then you kind of miss that salt and that, that cheese
Mhm.
and that,
Yeah.
rich flavor. So
Yeah.
you're just like, I love Korean food, definitely. And I would I'm happy with it, like, 90% of the time. But,
Mhm.
once in a while, you just want something like that. So yeah,
Right.
that was one of the few
Something
places to get it.
unhealthy.
Yeah, something unhealthy and just something a little bit different texture, right? So,
Mhm.
but yeah, the Taco Bell's there. It's worth checking out. I never had as much fun there as the two I mentioned before, but there's still some cool places there. You never know what new thing will be there, and that will be worth
Mhm.
checking out. So it's definitely worth checking out. But I give it a solid, 3.5 or 4 out of 5 there. It's solid. Definitely worth checking out.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is a more resident. Well, okay, so I mentioned Lotte World before. That's in Jamsil, which has also the tallest building in the city and in all of Korea, which I believe, unless something new happened recently, Lotte Tower. You can see it from the north end of Seoul. It's massive, and it has so much to do inside there. They have some of the best chains for you can imagine for shopping. There's this one of my favorite stores there has a bunch of tech accessories and music for sale, albums, K-pop albums. They also have food galore from affordable or cheap even to very expensive. And
Mhm.
they have like a thing where is it called a sky deck or like whatever, where you go to the very top and you can like look at the stars, I
Oh.
forgot what it's called, but like, they have one of those. They have a movie theater that's probably one of the best in all of Korea. They have a Guinness World Record size projector theater where you can watch, bigger than an IMAX,
Mhm.
So uh, it's also super clean and not very crowded at all for how nice it is. So if you want to go somewhere that's kind of snazzy and not super crowded, I recommend going to Lotte Tower in Jamsil. And just, yeah, it's kind of like, it's fancy, like Itaewon without all the chaos, I guess. It's more residential in some ways, and it's really easy to get to because you can just go to Jamsil Station and then walk there, and it's really easy to get to.
Mhm.
It's not as exciting, but it's just like maybe you want to just have something nice and you don't want to worry about the crowds as much. That's a good place to go to, and and if you want to go to Lotte World, you could do both. And also, there's a beautiful lake there. I think it's Sokchon Lake that's near in that community, and it's just a really pretty lake. And they have a baseball stadium there too, so you can watch a
Wow.
baseball game there. So it's on line 2, which is super easy to navigate in Seoul. Like line 2 is really a little bit busy, but it's very clean and very consistent, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think Jamsil is a great area there. There's also some really good museums in Seoul. There's museum. I think might just be the Korean Museum or National Museum of Korea, which has a variety of like history of Korea and organized in different sections, and it kind of explains kind of how Korea came to be, and it has some modern
Mhm.
art there, and it's free, so
Mhm.
definitely check that out. Great place to if you were having don't have much money, but you want to have a fun date, you could go there, and it looks fancy. It looks so high end, but you pay nothing to go there, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Or
I actually never heard of this museum, but it sounds like you can learn a lot about the history of Korea as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
I
yeah.
had no idea that like the Joseon dynasty was around for hundreds of years, right? Like
Mhm.
it's like 400 years plus. Like I had no idea it was around that long. It's amazing, right? Like
Mhm.
the U.S. has only been around since, not even 200 years, right? Like we're getting close to our 250th is coming up. Yeah. But we're not even there yet. But that's been around way longer. So it just gives you this perspective of and the history. Uh, and then also the Korean War Museum. It really dives into detail. It has English translations there. I also was impressed that there were young children there with their families or with their
Mhm.
school, learning about such an important piece of their history, and
Yeah.
they're not hiding it, right? They're not trying to forget it. It
Mhm.
still impacts Korea today, so just being aware of it,
Right.
and also the you know how much they sacrifice to survive and to maintain their identity, right, as a
Mhm.
democratic nation. It took so much sacrifice. There were even young young boys that were like late middle school, early high school that served that time and
Oh
really
wow.
helped make a difference. It's
Mhm.
sad,
Yeah.
but you're like, and they didn't. I just I'm just so impressed though at the same time, just like being so young yet so dutiful, so responsible,
Mhm.
um, tragic, but also very heroic. So I don't know. It just really impressed me with the culture of just being able to do whatever it takes, right?
Mhm.
For freedom, for democracy. So I felt really a little bit somber, but also really inspired by that. It
Mhm.
just made me realize a little bit more about the culture by going there. So those museums just really provide you context that helps you understand the culture now, right? Because that's related to today. So just knowing that is really important. And then the last thing,
Yeah.
the major thing, would be my favorite traveling destination, Jeju Island. I think I talked about this maybe a little bit before in other episodes, but you must go to Jeju Island. It is magical. It is
Magic.
beautiful. Has a variety of things to do. Like there's so many things to do. Like that's what I love. There's like 50 different things you can do in a day. There's a waterfalls. There's a museums, like a chocolate museum. There's a beautiful, like a variety of restaurants in a variety of different settings. There's near the coast or inland. There's a night market. There's barbecue. There's seafood. There's hiking. There's
Yeah.
so much to do there. I feel like this place needs more recognition and it's also fairly affordable. Like the flight there was less than $100 to fly there, which is super cheap for air travel.
Mhm.
And you can get deals like $50 each way. Car rentals were way cheaper than in America, like a fraction of the cost compared to America.
Mhm.
And there's beaches galore. And the city in Jeju City, if you go to the beach there, you can see the sunset from the city beach. I mean, I got like some kind of like nice cocktail with my girlfriend, and we just sat back after a nice day and just saw the sunset. Oh,
That's so nice.
can't
How
can't
long were
beat it.
you there for?
I think it was about 5 days or so, I believe total.
Mhm.
Yeah, max. I think including travel days. But man, I could spend like 2 weeks there easily because it felt rushed. Even though we had a decent amount of time, it felt rushed because there's just so many places to
Mhm.
explore on that island, and each like coastline has something a little bit different, like the north, the east end, the west end, the southwest, whatever. So that was really good. The black pork samgyeopsal was the best I ever had.
Mhm.
It's they have their own pork, they have right there on the island, and man, it's even the water there tastes like the best. Like I buy this brand
Yeah.
from Jeju, this water brand. It tastes better than any of the
Oh.
other waters I had. So I don't know, something about it.
You're just like,
Maybe
this is better. Everything's better here.
yes, man, one of my dreams is to one day when I'm like ready to retire, just I want to open my. It's probably not possible, but
Oh,
I just daydream about it. I want to
daydream
open.
away. You
I
never
want to have
know.
my own cafe in Jeju City near the beach, and just meeting tourists from around the world, and
Oh,
just like,
wow.
yeah, just in the day maybe it's coffee, at the night maybe it's cocktails, right? And
Wow.
just like, yeah,
I
that's
will
like
be one of your first customers. I would love to go and yeah, that could totally happen.
you, yeah, that'd
Supporting,
be you
supporting
would
you.
I would give you a very nice discount for if you came to my
Oh, you
cafe.
mean for free?
Yeah, 5 figure discount, right? Like, have you ever felt you're somewhere and you're it's so good that you feel like you're dreaming almost? Have you
Oh
ever
yeah.
been somewhere like that?
I
That was
definitely feel like Jeju Island is one of those places that I
one of those
felt
places.
that. Mm-hmm.
I kept sometimes I would literally pinch myself because I was so happy. I was like,
Oh wow.
this is I'm too happy right now.
Am
Like,
I
is this
dreaming?
real? Am I dreaming? I was
Yeah.
worried. I had that almost anxiety that I was dreaming because I was having so much fun, but I wasn't.
It's too good to be true,
This
right?
is just too good to be true. And man, I'm from the Midwest in the USA, and I'm happy with my community and my friends, and there's nice things there too. But just something that's magical about this island, and I'm just like, this is a beautiful place. Like, this is just a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I couldn't believe I didn't hear about it more from my Korean friends over the years,
Oh,
just
really?
because I think compared to Seoul, like this place, like Seoul is fun at night, sure. I mentioned some fun areas, but just
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful scenery, right? I could go on for
Yeah.
days. So anyway,
No,
that's
no,
enough.
yeah.
Just please, yeah, check it out at
Um,
some point.
actually, I'm curious, like, what other like things did you do in Jeju Island, or did you travel a lot
Well, okay.
or
Well,
explored a
one thing
lot?
you can do is that's pretty fun is if you're kind of dabbled in fishing but you're not quite sure how to fish and you want to have that experience,
Uh-huh.
you can they'll take you out into the ocean and you can fish there, and they make it really easy to fish. But the scenery is beautiful while you're going out there to the fishing area.
Mm-hmm.
And I even heard you can hunt squid during a certain time of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is just, oh man, I can't imagine just like getting a squid. But yeah, they have fishing there. They have so many museums. I went to the chocolate museum, and they have
Mm-hmm.
not only do you get to, learn about the history of chocolate or whatever, that's cool and all, but at the end they have this chocolatier place, and you can buy high-end chocolate that's made in the chocolate factory right there. So I bought some, and I shared it with my family when I got back, and they thought it was really good as well.
Mm-hmm.
They also have Jeju inspired like alcoholic drinks or chocolates that have like the Jeju tangerine
Yeah,
sort
that's
of version of it.
what it's
Yeah.
known for, or like it's their
Oh, it's
tangerines
so
and
good.
their yeah.
Yeah, they add it to chocolate. They add it to, yeah, like I said, and it tastes really good. If you like tangerines, I think the makgeolli, tangerine makgeolli is to die for. They have their own brand of soju, which I think's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I need to spend a year in Jeju just
You would
to
totally live
soak
there,
it up.
basically.
Uh,
Did you go to Loveland?
I didn't go to Loveland. Did you go to Loveland in Jeju?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
It was,
what's that like?
Loveland. Well, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
what
the
is
land of
like?
love. So,
Is
like,
that the
you can,
area where they have those statues that
yeah,
have
yeah.
um
So, very interesting statues, of the humans, or like the anatomy.
highlighting the human anatomy? Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
human anatomy, and there's also like murals, and I think there's also like there was like a museum. And you just you go inside and you see more statues, but like miniature ones. It was very
Right,
interesting.
right.
So it was
Oh,
part of. I went on a tour group to Jeju Island.
oh, you
I
did.
didn't
Oh,
fly,
nice.
so I just took the bus there, and then that was one of the places that we went to, right? So it was very interesting.
You took a tour bus around the island then?
Yes, that's
Okay,
what I
that's
meant.
cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun. Night market. Did you check that out in Jeju City?
Um, I don't know if I did.
Okay. Yeah, they have a good night market in Jeju City as well. Yeah, th- I don't know if there's like any like the lodgings kind of just not really fancy. Like I feel like Busan had a little bit better hotel accommodations than Jeju does, but I
Hmm.
mean it's clean. So you just go there to sleep and it's all good. But oh, you do have to rent a car. So that unless you do the bus thing that you did,
Yeah.
but I think renting a car gives you a little bit more freedom to do what you want to do, and it's not super like it's not high traffic really. It's just you have to get used to it because it's just different. Like so,
Hmm.
I think going with someone like if you have a Korean friend or something that knows how to drive, having them maybe helping them pay for the rental car, but having them drive
Hmm.
could be pretty good experience overall. So where else did you go to besides the anatomy museum or park or whatever? Love Park.
Yes. So there was like a lot of other places in Jeju Island, and
Mhm.
yeah, basically it was really beautiful because of the nature and just being in that scenery in that environment. And I do have a story with Jeju Island, a very
Nice.
memorable story
Do
about
tell.
it. And basically, so I hiked Mount Halasan, and it was during a typhoon.
Oh, whoa.
So Mount Halasan is actually the tallest mountain in South Korea. And I remember when I joined this tour group, this was closer to the end of my contract, the year in South Korea, and I knew I had to visit this place because Jeju Island actually, I've heard a lot about it, and I heard that it is the Hawaii of Korea. Like that's what
Yeah,
it's known
yep,
for, right?
yep.
So then I knew I had to go on this tour and go there and visit because I don't know if I'll come back to Korea. And I remember there was another person from Epic who he was also on a tour to Jeju Island, but he was on another tour group, right?
Oh, okay.
So, but we both wanted to hike Mount Halasan, but that day, basically, the tour guide told us there's going to be a typhoon happening. So, and he asked everyone in the bus like who wants to hike the mountain still, like who wants to do it still, and then I raised my hand. And me
Oh my
among
gosh.
me and six others among like 150 people on the bus raised our hands, and I was like, oh, it's
Crazy,
only
crazy people.
us six. And I asked the tour guide, I'm like, how safe do you think it is for us to hike? And he's like, yeah, it's no problem. It's safe, I'm like, oh, okay. I took his word for it.
Trust the tour guide. Yeah,
I trust the tour
they have
guide.
they have
I later realized what I got myself into. Okay. When we got there, I messaged the friend. I was like, "Oh, are you going on this hike too?" And then he was like, "No, I turned back." So I was like, "Oh, okay." I was thinking, "Oh, it won't be that bad." Um, but basically, that was a really tough hike, of course, because here I am thinking, "Oh, it's just a little bit of rain and wind, and it'll be okay." But basically, I remember I wrote a post about it too on my Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, I guess who was crazy enough to hike the highest mountain in South Korea during a typhoon?" So it's definitely interesting and
Tina.
unforgettable experience.
Tina's crazy.
And I was like, oh, I was so surprised when I only heard six of us among 150 chose to hike it. Even knowing that there was a typhoon and that I wouldn't get any views, I was still determined to do it. And then I was like very optimistic because I was like, oh, it wasn't that difficult, like climbing stairs starting off anyways. But it got more difficult going up, it's the steeper, going up steeper rocks, and it started to pour a lot more. And then it got really windy, right? So then, so then we managed to reach 2/3 of the mountain, but it got blocked off the very top. So we couldn't even hike the whole mountain.
Oh.
And then when I got to the top, it was so windy, I couldn't see anything. So here I'm like trying to pictures. I'm like, what am I taking pictures of? And the thing was, I was with these group of people I didn't really know. Okay, I didn't even know them, so it wasn't like I had a friend to like complain. Like I had someone. Everyone was so fast too. They were like experienced hikers or something. Or I think we were all kind of struggling, so everyone's trying to like finish it and like leave. So I was like one of the last people. I was basically the last person in that group, and I was very fortunate to have this couple who was there to kind of stay with me behind, because they were like making sure that I'm like
yeah, sure,
get down safe too, right?
That's nice of them.
But we got to like observatory and lake. Didn't get to see anything. The wind was really strong. Coming down was really really rough. Like I remember like experiencing a lot of pain, like pain knees and ankles, and there was like endless puddles. And then I guess I was just thinking after like the 5 hours and like 15 kilometers later, how dumb I felt. I guess just because thinking like, oh, I want to get home safe. I want to get back to Toronto, Canada safe and see everyone. So that was one of my most memorable experiences in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I didn't know you were like that courageous or that brave. Wow, I would have definitely went back. So you're in like the top 5%, 95 percentile of being courageous enough to do that. So I'm glad you were able to get there and have that experience and survive. Yeah. So wow, that's something. That's really cool. Yeah, I feel like I want to do that someday too. Not during typhoon, mind you, but just have that experience next time I go.
Yeah, definitely when the weather is nice and you actually get to see like how beautiful it is from the top, or have really nice, breathtaking views.
Next time I go to Jeju, it might be during the winter time. I want to see what it's like. I want to see what it's like in the winter time. So I think I might have an opportunity to do that. So yeah, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can see what it's like. But during the summer, it's excellent. So I'm just like, I gotta see what it's like in different seasons. But yeah, hiking is also something really good to do there. So yeah, so that's great for that. What did you have some other things you wanted to share about, like fun things to do in Korea?
Oh yeah, I have my own list.
All right,
which is actually very different from your list. Just because my list is more of, I just talked about like activities and I didn't say specifically where.
That's fine.
Here's the thing, I was gonna write an article about this, but I never ended up really writing it. So I actually have like subtitles for this, okay? So my first thing is party till the AM at the Noraebang, so a karaoke room. Nice. And so like we know, Koreans work hard, they also party hard. And, nightlife is really lively, so it is always, a great time to go and sing karaoke too. And with karaoke, what I found was interesting. I know like they have it in Toronto as well, some karaoke machines, but what I found was interesting was in Korea, their machine keeps score of how well you sung to a song. Do you have that
That's right.
as well?
But I think it's fake. Like it usually gives everybody a high score no matter what.
No.
Really?
Not in my experience.
Every time I've seen it, it was like 90 or 85. 90,
okay, well, I didn't get like I didn't get no A or B. No, I think.
What were you doing? Like, I feel like as long as you sing along to the melody, you're gonna get it.
No, I think you have to have a loud voice. That's what I think, because like I'm like more soft spoken. So even when I'm singing, like I'm louder, but I'm not like super loud, you know. So
You know, later I need to hear this singing later, and I'll give you a grade.
we should go karaoke, and you can see my score.
Oh, there we go. That's a good idea. Yeah, it'll be fun.
But anyways, I did not like that because I remember going with the group, like the ethnic group, and then singing a song, and the score comes up, and I was like, awkward.
Oh no.
I don't know, but there were a couple guys in that group. They were so nice. They're like, "Good job, Tina." And I was like, "Thanks."
I think it's
It was
better.
like a pretty-
I think it's better to say nothing.
job.
Like that's better. Like just like, you know, move on to the next thing. Oh my, what? It must have been pretty bad, right?
I didn't fail. Okay.
I mean, is it really gonna fail you? It wants you to sing more and pay more, right? So,
I think you only fail if you don't sing at all. Okay, I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
And you know how also, like, you know, with the drinking culture and everything, how you play the game Nunchi. You know Nunchi, right? Have you played that?
I know what Nunchi is, but I don't know about the drinking game Nunchi.
Oh yeah, like because you know how, I don't know if you played it with your students, it's basically similar to it's the same game, but you do it when you're drinking. So then yeah.
How do you play Nunchi then for the viewers? Can you explain?
Okay, I'll do my
for the
best.
listeners.
Yeah, so basically, at least this version of Nunchi is you have a group of people, and then each person, or it's supposed to be each person goes and counts up, like counts the numbers up, so like 1 to 10 or however many numbers, and then it's supposed to be one person at a time. But then if two people say the number out and move up, like stand up at the same time, then you're out. When you're out of the game, or you have to start over. So when you start over, you have to count from 1 to 10 again, right?
Gotcha. So it's about, you have to be able to pay attention and be really quick.
Yeah.
But that's really hard to do when you're sober. But imagine when you're drinking.
Yeah.
How challenging that would be.
Because if you can go like, you count up to 5, and then 2 people say the number at the same time, and or even one person flinches or moves a little bit, and then they're like, okay, you're out, So like, but with drinking, if you lose, you drink, and then you start again, right? So then that's like one of the games. But anyways, so definitely karaoke, okay. And 2 I've heard is shop till you drop at cute skincare and cosmetic stores. So like, Korea is well known for their beauty products and skincare and lots of cute things. But of course, it's not just shopping for that. It's like just shopping in general in Korea. Is just so many things, like cute things. And the thing is, they really target and appeal young girls and women in Korea. And yeah, even like not just young boys too, like, with other things and other toys and cute things as well, like the games and stuff too. But yeah, like for sure. And even like now it is so well known internationally, the skincare products.
It is. Like even I brought one for this podcast, the Korean mask pack. Those are really good when your skin's feeling really dried out. They have a variety of those.
Face mask?
Yeah, the face mask. This is Dewy Tree, it says.
Oh wow, do you do masks?
Good. When my skin's really dry, I do it, more in the winter, I would guess to say, but yeah, they just, it feels really good. I don't, I wear it, I put them on in private, obviously. I'm not showing my bros and my friends the mask. Because well, they would just, I don't know, they make fun of me a lot, I guess.
No, that's like,
I mean, it's fair. It's kind of, it looks kind of silly to put this mask on.
It's funny,
but it feels good.
Yeah.
So
I've worn a face mask on the plane
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
And I was like, probably like scare someone, Watching like you looked over one day and you're like, whoa, is there a ghost here?
I know. Yeah. A plane would be where you would actually really benefit from one of these because
Yeah,
it moisturizes your whole
exactly.
face. That's a good plan. I never
You
even
can be
thought about that.
productive on the plane.
That's not a bad idea. You know
Do
what? I might do it sometime. We'll see.
it.
I don't want to annoy my what's it, neighbor, I guess, or my
Neighbor.
seatmate. So I have to have enough. If I have enough space, though, I would consider it for sure.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, oh yeah. So
Yeah.
Nature Republic, that's my favorite
Oh, yeah.
brand over there. Yeah, I use their aloe vera
Humourous.
once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for like sunburn or like just to cool off. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
do you have some favorite like brands over there?
I do, and I think that yeah, I've tried a lot of different things. Like I've
Mhm.
tried Innisfree, Skin Food, Nature Republic, Etude House. I
Those are all
definitely
good. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually yeah, the products and the quality of it is like decent. It's good, like it's good, but also it's affordable too. So I've definitely
Yeah.
tried a lot of different things, and there's just so many more that I haven't tried or I can't even remember at the top of my head because there's so many, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah, and there's always new promotions and new
yeah,
kind of every season, right? They might have
yeah,
something that
face
you want to
shop,
try.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then the great thing about it is that also the packaging is really cute and the designs are really um, nice too. So like this is
Oh
why
yeah,
this appeals internationally, everyone, right? But I would say my favorite brand is CosRX. Have you heard of that?
Cosrx.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that brand, but I'm
Oh,
not
really?
always. I'm not on the. I'm not
Like really?
necessarily. I'm not the trendiest when I just like I heard these are good, so kind of the mainstream
Hey,
ones.
I
But
thought you're like the skincare beauty expert here.
no, I wouldn't go that far. I'd say you know a little more than me, but I've dabbled into it. We'll just say that.
No,
I've dabbled. I've
you know.
dabbled.
But I would say it's that brand is really good because it is really gentle on my skin, and it is targeted for more sensitive acne-prone skin. So
Mm,
recommend that for people, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
So then there's shopping, and then another thing I would say is satisfy your sweet tooth at unique cafes. So yeah, like in terms of cafes, there are so many unique ones.
Oh yeah.
Which ones have you been to?
So let's see. I on a date, I checked out the Hello Kitty Cafe,
Oh
and
yeah,
it was adorable. It
I
was
did
fun.
too.
Oh, you
It was
did?
really nice.
Yeah.
Even though I'm
It
not a
was
fan
really
of Hello
nice.
Kitty.
Yeah, I'm not either, but it
Okay,
was
it's okay if you are.
the person I was the person I was saying at the time was so
Oh.
that's why we went there.
Mhm.
But it was cute. They also have a One Piece cafe. They have in
Mm.
Hongdae they had just like even a couple of years ago they have like this huge the Going Merry ship, which is the ship name of the ship from One Piece. Was there on the outside, and they have um, inside it they have different themes or decorations related to that anime called One Piece.
Mhm.
Uh, let's see.
Mhm.
My favorite cafe chain is Holly's Coffee. It's
Oh,
they have the best
nice.
vanilla latte.
Uh-huh.
Something about their vanilla. I have a Holly's coffee mug in my office. I have a Holly's coffee coaster.
Wow,
I
you really love
follow them
this.
on Instagram.
Oh,
I'm all about Hollies.
they know you by first name basis. Are you like a VIP member?
I feel like I should be, but yeah, just I love vanilla. So the thing is, they have the best vanilla stuff that I've tried. So,
Mhm.
um, I always try to go to Hollies whenever I can when I'm visiting Korea or living in Korea.
Mhm. Okay.
Uh, but yeah, when you go there and you try the different cafes, you may find some chain or some drink there that you never would have thought of before. You might have only tried one brand, but then the best thing about trying new things is you might find your new favorite.
Yeah.
So if I never would have tried all those different cafes and drinks, I wouldn't have known about like Holly's, right? So I think that's sometimes you'll try stuff and you hate it, but that's okay because you never. That's how you can find something great as well, right? You have to go through that process. So I recommend just trying everything once at least, within reason, right? Like if it's outside, completely outside, if it would make you, if you're allergic or if it would make you sick, obviously don't. But like in general, try everything. What are some of the unique cafes that you found in Korea?
Yeah, so I love cafes. I love going there to do work, and because they all have really unique and really tasty drinks, right? And I have been to a lot of them, but I would say my favorite ones are the pet cafes.
Oh yeah.
So there's dog cafe, cat cafe, and there's so many different ones. There's sheep cafe, and there's also raccoon.
And meerkat.
Yeah, there was that too, and I don't know what other animals, right? But I definitely been to the one. Actually, my first one for like dog and cats was in Daejeon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so when I found out about these cafes, I was just so excited. We didn't have that in Toronto. They opened a cat cafe a few years ago, but I think they closed it down because of sanitary reasons. In Korea, like there's so many of these, and they're all like around you, and you can basically admission is free with a purchase of a drink, and
nice.
so it's not that expensive, and then you get to like pet them and cuddle with them and play with them. So I went there, and I also went to a raccoon cafe. Just because my friend wanted to go, I was like, okay, I'll just check it out, even though I'm like, okay, raccoons and nothing special. Like I see them here back home, but I mean, they're still cute. So I went and I petted it.
I let you pet it, the raccoon?
Yeah, it was just chilling, and I was just like petting it and took pictures, of course.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and there's other cafes where you can have. I think you take a picture and you have your face on the drink. Cafes where you can dress like a princess and wear like wedding dresses and take photos. I never went to those though. And then there's the poop cafe where
oh right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a running gag, right? Like they have a cartoonish looking poop for the bread, right? Like it's bread, but it's shaped like a cartoonish poop.
Or like it's just the cup is shaped like a toilet bowl cup, and then you have a drink, and then it's just like fun, I guess.
You call it fun. I was reviled. I was like, really? No, not happening. No, not for me. But yeah,
it's like amusing for me.
It's very goofy though, I'd say. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I remember having a drink where there was like caramel popcorn on top, so that was tasty and fun.
At the poop cafe?
No, this is just like random.
Oh, right, a cafe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so unique. Definitely one of the things I miss the most. Okay, that's my list. And then another next thing would be fill your stomach with all you can eat samgyeopsal. Okay, grilled pork belly, Korean barbecue. It is like what, less than 20,000 won. Well, it depends on like what you get and how much you order, but a portion wise.
Yeah, but it's like pretty. It's very reasonable.
Reasonable,
what you're getting.
Right? So I miss that too. And then next would be game all day and night at the PC room, which we talked about in our last episode. I did not do that, but I just walked in to look. Okay, if you like games, definitely experience that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Next thing would be rock a traditional hanbok, so the traditional Korean outfits. Did you do that?
I did not. I'm not really into that, but I think it looks pretty. It looks nice for sure. I didn't wear one. Did you wear a hanbok?
Yes, I did, and I went to Jeju to do that. So I do have another funny story.
All right, do tell.
So I went with my friends, and Jeonju Hanok village where you can rent the hanbok for a couple hours or for the whole day, and it's not too bad in terms of pricing, but it is like an experience that we wanted to have. So basically, I was wearing that pretty hanbok during the day, and then at nighttime when we were trying to get back, I was walking and then I tripped and fell, skinned my knees, and
Oh
my
no.
pants ripped.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and the funny thing was we missed our last bus going back home, so we went to Noibang and then we basically sang and then waited it out till the morning or the morning bus. But basically, it was sad because like I got skin knees, I was bleeding on both knees, and
Oh,
I got a hole on my pants. Yeah, like
wait, in the knee area where
yeah,
you fell?
yes.
Oh, okay. I thought like, there
Yes.
was some more
No. Okay.
ish.
That would be so horrible. But yeah, it was like sad in that sense, but I had to laugh it off. I don't know if you experienced this, but I find that the floors in Korea are kind of uneven.
Yeah, it's a very mountainous country, so
Yes,
it's typically at an incline or a decline wherever you're going.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's normal that I'm tripping
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People trip all the time over there. Yeah, no problem. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about skinning both knees. That seems a little
It's like
much,
so intense.
or ripping their pants. Who knows where, but
And another thing, enjoy the temple stay experience. I
oh,
I haven't tried that though. Um,
okay.
I just have that down. I have
You
that
heard
down.
about it. You heard about it
Yeah,
from
I wanted to
others.
try it. I wanted to
Oh,
try
okay.
it, but I didn't get a chance to. And I think it was just like I wanted to like go a couple of days to like meditate. They do it all day, morning to
Sure.
night. You have no phone with you. You can't really talk to anyone. You're discouraged to talk during meals with other people. And then I just heard that it's very like life-changing experience for a
Yeah.
lot of people who have done it
Oh,
before. Like just like I've heard people who've gone on like 14-day meditation retreats, and then I'm just like, wow, I don't know if I can do that for that long.
I'm way too talkative for that. They would kick me out of there for sure. If it were for 2 weeks, like I wouldn't.
I,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd be kicked out. But I could do
Mm-hmm.
it for like a day or two probably. But yeah, I bet it's something worth trying for sure. Just kind of experiencing another way of life, and if you don't usually do that, and maybe getting away from technology and
Mm-hmm.
embracing nature and focusing on things. I'm sure there's some
Yeah.
really good things that could come from it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Korea is highly influenced by Buddhism, I would say.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I also mentioned earlier to hike a mountain, so at Jeju Island. And okay, the other thing would be to relax at a Jimjilbang, so a public bathhouse. Have you tried that?
No, I couldn't
No.
get over the idea of being naked in front of strangers. That was a bit of a stretch for me.
Yeah. Would you try it if you go back, like when you go back in the future, or is that on your list, a bucket list?
I feel like it's something I need to do, but I want to like get through the bath part as soon as possible and just get to the where you wear the robe and just kind of lay around, and just
Mhm.
experience kind of the spa element of it, I guess, more than
Yeah.
the bath. But you have to be sanitary. Everyone needs to be sanitary to
Yes.
make it a good environment. So I understand for sure, but yeah, I'm just not used to the idea of that. So that's been a hurdle for me that I'll have to overcome at some point because I'm sure it will. Did you go to Jimjilbang? I assume you did.
Yes. No, but I understand like your point of view, and there are some people who I know that who just wasn't comfortable with that either, or like they weren't interested to do that. For me, again, it was for the experience. um, yeah, I have gone a couple of times, And I did actually bring my family to one in Seoul, right? So my sisters and my mom. My dad did not want to, try that, so he was just like waiting for us. This time I went to one. Again, it was also a tour trip somewhere, and
Wait, it was a tour? So you like went with strangers and they all saw each other naked? Oh my gosh, seriously?
I had a couple of friends, but what difference does it make? Anyways.
I mean, after the Jimjilbang, you gotta go back on the bus with all those people that just saw you naked.
No.
So yeah, it's not a typical experience where you go and you never see each other again. That's fine, but you're literally getting back on the bus and everybody saw each other.
I don't remember. Oh my god!
Did they could you even look each other in the eye after that? Like, I feel like the amount of awkwardness that the idea of a tour group going to Jimjilbang. Oh my god.
No. Okay. There was a tour bus somewhere, okay, but then you get to choose different things that you do.
Oh my gosh! So the risque people chose the Jimjilbang.
So, anyways, yeah, like my first experience was like I actually I remember asking the Koreans there, asking the people there, asked them, oh, can I wear my bathing suits? I asked that.
Absolutely not. No. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing.
Wait. What did you say? What did you say?
I legit asked. I was like,
no, wait, but like in Korean or in English?
No. Like I think that they spoke English too, right? But I was like, I had my bathing suit, and I was like, can I wear this? And then, and then they're like, no. Anyways, so then I'm like, oh, okay. And then like, because me and my friends were like, I think we didn't really know like what was going on. So then we realized, and I was just like, oh. But anyways, like then they have like this tiny face towel. Like like the towel, they give you a towel, but it's like so tiny.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was kind of like awkward, and of course I felt self-conscious and also like uncomfortable. And
wait, what was the towel for? Just for washing your face?
No, it's just like to dry off or something. But then like,
okay.
It's a tiny towel. It doesn't do anything. But anyways, but yeah, like after a while, you just kind of like, it was like very awkward first experience, because of course you want to like, like shower and then like go right straight into like the top tub and whatever, right? But like everyone is just chill, or not, everyone's like used to it. Like Koreans, they go how often, like weekly sometimes, or pretty often, to just go to Jimjilbang. Like it's so normal, right? So yeah, I was just like, not looking at anyone, and like, and hoping they're not looking at me. But it was just like, and afterwards, it's kind of like you don't care anymore, right? But anyways, it was really interesting.
And to clarify, they're divided, right? Like the.
Oh yes, yes, gotta clarify that. It's a gender segregated bathhouse. Yeah, but then it's really interesting. You have hot tubs. You have like saunas, and they even have people, like, if you want, you can have a body scrub. I didn't have that, but like people have that too. When
wait, while you're naked, you get the body scrub?
Yes. While you're naked, you have a body scrub.
Like,
what they do? Like they have someone scrub your body, and then you scrub all the dead skin cells. Yeah.
So it's again, like I think I saw a clip on what was it? Conan O'Brien, or like he got I think he was in a towel though, but then he got the massage. And doesn't it hurt? I thought it. Oh no, you didn't get it.
No, so I didn't get it, but I assume it does, right?
Yeah, right. So rub it all off, but rub all the dead skin off. Huh?
Would you try that?
No.
What if it's for free?
For free, maybe, if it were
Okay.
free.
Um,
Again, I said I'll try anything once, so it's possible. Although I don't think I would enjoy it. I feel like I enjoy something that feels good more than it's painful. So,
yeah. Yeah. But basically, it was, yeah, like they have a lot of hot tubs. They have cold ones with different temperatures. They have tubs with different herbs and fragrances with healing properties and
oh wow,
so many.
that sounds good.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
part.
Because yeah, I remember like of course like there are rooms where you would wear your gown, your outfit, right? And then you can go and just like lie down on like salt. And there was I remember the one in Seoul also had an ice room. And
Mm.
it's 24-hour facility. People are there resting, napping, and they also sleep overnight too.
Right, and how much does it cost to get into one of these Jimjilbangs for the? Do you pay like by the hour or just an entrance fee or?
I think it also there's like there's all there are by hour but also by like day or like like entrance fee. They have that. I think I paid by entrance fee, and it was like it can be as cheap as like 10,000 won or but like
Oh
definitely
wow.
a lot. Yeah.
So it's like so it's cheaper to sleep in one of those than to go to a
Yeah.
motel or hotel.
Yeah. Basically,
And
you
it's safe
really need a place to
and it's
stay.
safer too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Huh?
well, because there's
Yeah.
safety in numbers, right? Like there's so
Yeah.
many good like regular average ordinary people there that someone's always watching, and also it's clean, so because everybody's clean, so you have a clean place that you could sleep in overnight for $10
Mm.
for the night. So like that's about as cheap as you can get, right? So
Yeah.
while you're traveling, so you're backpacking, whatever, and you need
Mhm.
some place to clean up and sleep, you could go to a Jimjilbang and get there.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say that this is one of like their one of the secrets to their really clear, dewy skin, or like really good skin, right? One of the secrets. Um, yeah, okay. So final thing on my list is dare to visit the DMZ, so the demilitarized zone. So I've been on a couple of tours, right? So I went to the DMZ and JSA tour. Yeah, it's a good tour. I think I went. Mine was like a day one or half day one. So, so Korean demilitarized area and a unique joint security area. So it's really good to like learn about the history, and you get to like go to the border, but also have a lookout at into like North Korea and depending on the tour that you choose, you get to also walk through the tunnel. So like the third infiltration tunnel that was dug by North Koreans when they were attempting to attack the South. And so it was like really, really good tour. I would recommend if you feel safe to do the tour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that eventually, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't done that yet. So
Yeah.
you saw North Korea
Yeah, I
from that
did.
tour?
There was this observatory where you get to see across like the border inside North Korea, but you have to look, through those binoculars, the ones outside, so you can kind of see it. Yeah, there's like a couple of places that they take you, and I remember we got to go and go to this like JSA, so the Joint Security Area, the space between North and South, and where they coexist, and this is like where you actually see like the soldiers like stand face to face. And then I remember when we got to see that, they told us to not look at them in the eye. Then when we went into the one of the meeting room, at the conference room, you could take pictures standing next to the soldier. We both have a lot of recommendations.
I hope that through this, the listener can get some ideas of what to do,
Mm-hmm.
either locations or activities, however they like to prioritize it. Because there are, just so many things to do and explore that definitely when you go there, don't limit yourself, right? I think that's the main thing.
Mhm.
And be brave. Like Tina, you can be brave like Tina, or you can be, you can be more you can be inquisitive, like you can be brave, and I think combining those things, you may not enjoy every moment of that experience, but you'll remember that experience and you'll enjoy that experience, and then you'll be able to talk about it 5 years later and still have a good time, right?
Wow.
So
Um,
well, not all of mine were 5 years ago. I went back a couple, but you know what I'm
well, for
saying,
me,
right?
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, but like, whichever, like, remember for a lifetime probably. So definitely be willing to seek things out and just be open, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I think that there's so much you can do in Korea, and just depending on what your interests are, I think there's definitely something for everyone. In terms of there's just so much more, like in terms of food and entertainment, and definitely try some things that you might not normally try, and just for the experience, like the Jimjilbang.
With a tour group. Stay tuned for the next episode of Korea Talk, which is again the special series in Heart2Heart podcast. Thanks for having me on this special series, Tina. I'm having a blast.
Looking forward to more interesting stories and experiences.
Bye.
Bye.